Hey guys, my name's Buttons. I'm the head admin and co-founder of Sandbox.gg, a website dedicated to Overwatch coaching and educational content. Today, I'm going to be looking at one of my own VODs and analyzing how I communicate in-game. Now, I'm only a mid-platinum player, so my ability to analyze gameplay itself will naturally be lower than many of the Grandmasters you'll see on YouTube. But if we focus entirely on how I communicate in this VOD, then I expect we can all learn something regardless of rank. As you're watching this video, I want you to remember not to get distracted by the gameplay. I certainly make a lot of mechanical and positioning mistakes over the course of this game, but I want us to focus entirely on how I communicate with my team. Our purpose here is to analyze my communication to see how effectively I use voice comms to contribute to my team winning. Ultimately, our goal is to identify a clear philosophy we can adhere to when trying to communicate more effectively in a solo queue environment. Alright, now let's get into this VOD. Here we have a game on Dorado where we've been getting pushed back steadily throughout the first round. I want to let the video play without commentary so you can listen to how I am communicating in the game, and then I will pause it occasionally to insert some of my thoughts. Just one final reminder, don't get bogged down by the quality of my gameplay. Focus entirely on my voice and how I am trying to direct my team. Make sure you stay alive right now. You can nano the soldier. The soldier ulted. Alright, probably too late at this point. Back up a little bit so I can see you from spawn. To start out, I was just dead, taking a long walk back from base to a fight that is very much in progress. I could have spent this time thinking about ultimate economies and conveying that information to my team. In fact, I'd argue I should have spent this time doing just that. You'll see in this fight we're about to get wiped by a combo of 3 ultimates, so let's see how this plays out and consider how it would have been different if I communicated with my team something of value while I was dead. Robbie? Dope. Oh, D.Va probably has ult.
Yep.
So I technically predicted the D.Va ult by calling it 1 or 2 seconds early, but that doesn't give my team enough time to react. Further, we had already lost that fight to the enemy Soldier and Lucio ultimates, neither of which I predicted. If I had spent time while dead considering these ults may have been coming up, I could have prevented this lost team fight. Additionally, if I was alive and had Transcendence, I also may have been able to save the fight. Either way, it's time to regroup. Let's see how I direct my team from here.
I have my ult
regroup
still.
for one last fight. We gotta get one last fight right at the checkpoint.
Yeah,
Soldier, you gotta live right now.
on it.
Keep falling back, keep falling back. They have a Bastion on the card. I have Transcendence for this fight. Just wait. Wait for Ryan. So I've now done a few basic things correctly. I called the team to regroup for a final fight, which we're currently doing. Further, I singled out the Soldier 76, who was trying to poke a bit, and said, "Soldier, you need to fall back." Oftentimes, it is best to single a person out to prevent something similar to the bystander effect occurring. We need to be careful how we do this, though. I don't want anyone thinking I'm telling them how to play, because they may get upset and start to ignore my calls for the remainder of the game. Directing your team is effectively a game within a game. You need to make the right calls and tell people what to do in a way that doesn't come off as condescending or commanding. Finally, I repeatedly told my team to wait. This is key to ensure we're all attacking as a unit. Let's see how this fight plays out, and specifically I want you to listen for me calling priority targets. We still don't have to go. Go. Bastion first. Bastion first. D.Va. Go focus Mercy.
I'm down.
Mine's 1.
Mercy's 1. 6. So, we've won this team fight. I'd say my target calling was good, not great. I identified the Bastion as our main target and called out his location on top of the cart. Now, you could argue this is incorrect when there's a Mercy with Resurrect available on the other team, but I felt it was a lower risk play to focus on the Bastion, force out the Resurrect, and then deal with the fight from there. If we had tried to kill the Mercy first when we did not know her location, we would be at serious risk of being wiped by Bastion while hunting for the Mercy. Throughout the fight, I did not call focus targets very well after the fight fully started. We will need to watch future fights and see if that's a pattern I fall into, where I get silent once the fights get intense enough. Now, there's just one last thing I want to look at wrapping up this fight before we move on. Grab, come back, come back, come back. Oh, don't kill her right away. Don't kill her, don't kill her. This Zarya, man. I said don't kill her, and she did it anyway. No, I'm joking. I recognized far too late that trickling this diva would have been very valuable to us. I had already discorded the baby diva and even taken a few shots myself, so I absolutely cannot blame the Zarya here. Just to wrap up the main takeaway from this first team fight, if I'm going to place this responsibility of main shot caller on myself, I need to live up to that. In this first clip, I did not dictate ultimate economy very well, and I did not call targets throughout the duration of the fight. Finally, it's my responsibility to call things like trickling a diva as soon as possible, not when she's at 25 health. So, we did end up getting the hold on defense, and now we're going to see my duo partner experiencing a technical issue. I just want to show how I chose to handle this situation with the goals of maintaining a positive atmosphere while I ensure my team that he'll be back. I mean,
I could show you my screen, dude. I could literally show it to you because I'm recording it right now. I just can't even select a hero right now.
All right, well, you do what you got to do,
I'm
man.
gonna recue my. I'm gonna restart.
All right. So he was having technical issues. He'll be back. Honestly, we were carrying him anyway. Oh, I forgot you. I forgot you still hear me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep the mood light.
Dude, no, I love it. No, it's fine. I know.
So, just to explain why I think that clip was worth including, I told my team right away that my duo partner would be back, and I did so in a way that sounded genuine. Normally, you can't say with such certainty that a disconnected teammate will return, but you should still always try to prevent your teammates from giving up. I usually like to do so with a joke, like I did in this game, but a simple positive message like, "Don't worry guys, let's just hope he'll be back," can work equally well and is much better than saying nothing. So, you'll have noticed by now that I skipped the first half of our offensive round. I did this mostly because those fights were less interesting than the next two I want to show you. Now, you'll see here our team has a wealth of ultimates that a good shot caller would manage effectively. Let's see if I'm able to do just that. I have Discord on Mercy.
Enemy turret ahead. Fire at will. Barrage ready. Enemy turret ahead.
So right here, we've used Graviton and Barrage to get 2 kills, but they were unfortunately very quickly countered by a Mercy res. Right now, we are losing this fight both in ultimates used and in members alive. Also, I want to point out, for the last 20 seconds or so, you've been listening to my Soldier 76 breathe, and you haven't heard me call anything. I gave myself this responsibility of team leader, and again, I'm failing to live up to it. Let's see what call I'm able to make to save this fight.
Sterben nicht.
Nano Ryan, Nano Ryan.
I thought. Oh wow.
Oh, let's break it.
Alright, gotta regroup. You can hear in my voice how down I sound, and I think that is not good. You're gonna make bad calls if you're trying to shot call and lead a team. You're gonna make calls that lose fights and even games, but you can't get down on yourself about it. If I stop communicating after a bad call, we're much more likely to lose that game. If you make one wrong call, but push through, you have a chance to make up for it. I need to sound much more positive and keep the team on track, despite the negative position I've put ourselves in. Alright, so I now want us to look at the final fight in this game. You'll notice that I've swapped to Lucio in order to get back to the fight faster in preparation for overtime. Let's see how this plays out. Mercy's just straight in the middle. She's balcony top right. Diva behind. Almost have sound barrier.
Soldier behind.
I ulted just kill soldier. Swap to something fast, swap to tracer or something. So right there I say, swap to something fast, swap to tracer or something. That is far too uncertain and far too late for this situation, as our Pharah is already almost respawning. What I should have said was, Pharah, swap to tracer so you can get back to the cart faster. In a situation like this, you need to be very explicit in what you think needs to happen. There's no more need to worry about hurting a teammate's feeling and losing them as someone who's going to listen to my calls later in the game when every call is do or die. This may cost us from continuing overtime. Let's see.
Bastion ult. Diva ult.
Get the payload moving. Thank you.
Oh man, this was a close game. So you can see how close I was to the cart. If I swap from Lucio to Tracer, I don't get much closer. But if our Pharah went Tracer, she may have touched in time with the 4 or 5 blinks she would have used from spawn. I can't know for sure if she would have continued overtime or even if we would have won that fight. But what I do know is my call, swap to something fast, swap to Tracer or something, was bad communication. I'm going to let the video play through on mute while I wrap up. So I've learned a few key things I can do to improve my communication from this. From the very start of the video, we saw I should utilize my time while dead to communicate things such as ultimate economy, potential ultimate combos, and other things of that nature. Another thing I need to do is take off push to talk and go to toggle mute or open mic. A third thing I need to do is continue to communicate even during hectic fights. Finally, perhaps the most important point is understanding the responsibility I've given myself when I start directing the team. When you do this, you're giving yourself responsibility you have to follow up on. I don't do nearly enough following up on that responsibility in this game, but hopefully I'll have some significant improvements for the next video of this series. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for the first video of this series. If there's anything you'd like to see in this video series in the future moving forward, please let me know in the comments. There are at least 2 things that I'm personally very excited to do with this video series. The first, I want to feature some of our fantastic coaches we have at sandbox.gg like IOStux, CarQ, MindFuzz, or Alien T-Vend of Overwatch Dojo. If there are any personalities you'd like to see in this series that are not one of our coaches, please let me know and I'll reach out to them. The second thing I'd like to do is review gameplay other than my own. So if you'd like to be featured in this video series, please reach out to me. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Finally, if you want to improve at Overwatch, our website, sandbox.gg, has some amazing and professional coaches who offer a variety of lessons to meet any of your needs. I'll put a link in the video description. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.